Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about how you can insert data from the sign up part and send it to a database. So let's get started right here. I'm just going to type here Sahan Joe. Right now, let's give him Joe. And I'll give him sahanjoe@email.com. At gmail.com. Type in. There we go. Okay, give the password. We'll make him a seller. Why not? Let's agree to terms and conditions. And if I click the button, there we go. It says registration successful. And if I go back to the database and if I refresh, look at that. Our data has been added into the database, so I'm guessing you want to know how this works. So let's go to the code, and as you can see, we'll go right here. You remember the index HTML we talked about in the previous episode, so right here, let's talk about it. So a difference has been made here. So as you can see in the sign up button, the create account button, I've added a function called create account. So let me show you what that function really does right here, as you can see. So what this does, it makes variables. We make a variable according to each of the value data we put in, like a value. We've given all that the insert part some IDs, and we take the value from it, and by using the get element by ID method, we take the data and then we send it to the database using a connection. We've given it right here, and of course you can hear, as you can see, we've given it right below here. We've given a sign up error message, and it's right now it's made to be hidden. So mainly if like a let's just say if like an error pops up, right now it's considered hidden. If an error does pop up, it removes the hidden part and then it shows. Right here we have a JavaScript validation part to validate the data we enter. Right here, as you can see, if in order to see if the requirements for all the data is met. So if I go back here to the section, and let me try one more time. Let's try in right here. And if I just write like a random password right here and then type something else, and if I try to sign in, does that? Look at that! It gives me a error saying the password does not match, and we've sent it through a post method down here, as you can see, to the process section right here. We send the data using a process right here to that using the post method. So let's to right here, and for the process to actually work, we have to make a connection between the code and the database, and that's why we created a connection.php right here. So let's talk about that first. Right, so right here, as you can see, so right here I've made the connection variable into a private static, and I've made an isSet function right here. So what the isSet function does is it checks beforehand to see if there is a connection between the two database and this code, and if there isn't, it gives it. If there isn't a connection, it gives out a error message saying the connection has failed. And right down here we have a method for, right here is the method for inserting the data. Let's say if the connection is there, and if we're going to insert the data right here, we have given public static function IUD. IUD stands for insert, update, and delete. So all those functions are carried out throughout this method right here. And of course, I've given the connection variable to get the connection between the code and the database. And right here I've given it a statement through the connection query, the connection variable to use the query. In our case, let's say the insert query. And from this statement method, I've given the bind param. So what the bind param does, it separates the data that's meant to be sent to each section, and then if after that after that method's done, we use the results query statement right here, and we use the execute. What that does, it executes the process and then it closes it. So if we enter some data in through that part, it gets the connection, prepares the query, it separates the data, and then executes it, and then it closes it. And of course, pretty much the same happens in this method right here. So this is the search method right here. So here it makes the connection, gets the query, the search query, then it separates and selects the type of results you want to get. It executes it, and this time instead of right now what it does, it receives the results, the data you're looking for is received from the database. So that's the connection.php. I hope you understood that part. Let's go to the process where the connection happens. And right here, as you can see, we've using the variables we've created for each type of data entry points using the post method. We've connected them through the IDs we've given to each of the insert parts right here. And of course, right here we've got another validation part right here. I'll quickly go through it. As you can see, right now, if the f name is the part where you enter your first name is empty, it gives out a warning saying if you need to enter your first name. And if you go to the email section, if you don't have it, if the email section is empty, it'll send out an echo saying you need to enter your email address. And something else right here, it says it'll check to see if the email is above 150 characters. If it is above, it'll say it has to be less than 150 characters. And something we have right here, we have added a filter validate email section right here. So what this does, it actually checks and see if it's like a valid email. It has the necessary requirements for it to be an email. And then right here we have the password section, and same goes for like if the password's empty. Right here, as you can see, so if you remember, there was another section for the password called confirm password. So right here we have the confirm password section. So what this does, it will check and see if the password variable, the data stored in the password variable, is as same as the data stored within the password confirm variable. So that's what that does. And if that's not the case, it'll send out a message saying the passwords don't match, as you saw before. I think I did show you that, yeah. And right now there's another section right here, just like the email validation part. Right here we have another requirement to see if the email is larger than 8 characters. If that's not the case, it'll send out this error. Same for the rest of the accounts as well. And if I go down here, and if all that is done, the password is turned into hash. So what that means is the password is turned into this jumbled mess up. Yeah, that's what that does. And after that, something they do, we have an email check section right here using we connected the database to a search query right here. So what this does is that it searches the database and see if the email you're entering is already registered within their database. That's what they'll do. And if the results come above 0, it'll echo out saying, "Oh, this email is already registered. You can't use this anymore." And let's say if that's not the case, then what they'll do is they'll get the type result. So the type result is basically the user ID, the seller and the buyer type. So what they'll do right here is, as you can see, we've given it a query to select the ID from the account type database from the name. So right here, as you can see, if I go to the account type database, right here we've given 2 IDs, 1 and 2, for the seller and the buyer. So what this will do is it's going to try and see if whether you are a seller or if you are a buyer. So that's what that does. And if that is all the case, and after all that's done, what this will do, it will take the ID and it will now assign the ID to you into the user table. So what it will now insert, as you can see, we have another IUD part right here. IUD, as you can remember, also stands for the I in IUD stands for insert. So right now we've given it an insert query right here to insert the data you entered into the table, the user table, and to insert the data into the user table, to the F name, the L name, the email, and separate them all, and add them to each section. And now you also have probably seen this SS and I. So SS and I. So the S all stands for string, because the first name, last name, email, password, they all count as string type data, except for the active account type ID, which stands as an integer, or int for short. So yeah, that's why that's there, to identify what the type of data we're entering. And after all that is completed, we have the insert user section right here. So what it does is that using the user ID, it will get a connection to the database right here, and then right here, then after everything is confirmed, it will insert your role. Your role, if you're either a seller or a buyer, it will assign you into the website what you are, into the user has account type table right here. As you can see, it will now register you into the database according to your account type. And as you can see right here, it will enter user ID and then your account type ID. And once that's all complete, it'll send an echo saying success. So if I go back to the auth.js, right here, it will give out this response text right here. It will give out saying success. And as you can see, we've given it in like an onReady state change function. If it works out, the ready state will be equal to 4, the status will be 200, and we'll give a response text saying success, as in registration has been successful. And as you can see right here, if everything goes well, we remove the error message that usually shows up as like an error, like request fail, like if there's an issue, there comes an error message. So what this part here will do is it will remove that part, and then it'll add the green text, as you saw, which was the registration successful test. And then after that, it'll set a timeout section where within 2 seconds, the data will be inserted, and it will take you back to the sign-in page where now you can sign into the website with your newly created account. Yeah. So that says how all the functions work. So that's all I have for this video today. I hope you guys did find this helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.